Who are the greatest of all time in their respective fields that are still living? Dr. Lawrence Einhorn discovered using platinum-based chemo for testicular cancer. This resulted in cure rates jumping from bleak to over 95. Usain Bolt. Magnus Carlsen, or, if you believe Magnus, Garry Kasparov. Wayne Gretzky comes to mind. When Steven Spielberg approached John Williams to compose for Schindler's List, the latter saw a cut of the film and said, "There are better composers for this than me." Spielberg replied, "I know, but they're all dead." Michael Phelps. Haku, the GOAT in sumo. His achievements will never be eclipsed. Ronnie O'Sullivan snooker. Sir David Attenborough is still alive. Jane Goodall. Still one of the top experts on primate behaviors. When asked who would win in a matchup, the 96 Bulls or 23 Nuggets, Michael Jordan said the Bulls would win by about 10 points. The interview asked why he thought the game would be so close, and Jordan said, "Because we are all in our 60s now and not as good as we used to be." Phil Taylor is the greatest darts player to ever live and only just retired. Joey Chestnut. He's in a league of his own. No competition, no reason to even try to keep up. According to the mug I gave him, my dad was the world's greatest dad of all time. Janja Gonbret, Slovenian rock climber. She's an absolute beast and miles ahead of her competition. Alexander Kerlin. His greatness in wrestling is unparalleled. Cycling. Eddie Merckx, or the Cannibal. The man pretty much set the standard of road cycling for years. 11 Grand Tours, 3 monuments and the hour record, which stood for 28 years. Alongside some of the most iconic photos in cycling history, search Merckx Ventures or Roubaix. If you fancy a niche documentary, search for A Sunday in Hell detailing the 1976 Paris-Roubaix. Kelly Slater, 11-time world champion in surfing. Magnus Carlsen chess. Kelly Slater. Efren Reyes is the greatest pool player of all time. Eliud Kipchoge. Magnus Carlsen according to many, Garry Kasparov according to many, including Magnus Carlsen. Watch a video of Katie Ledecky in the Olympics against the best the world had to offer and you'll appreciate how much faster she is than any other woman swimmer. She's not just head and shoulders above everyone else, they're looking up at her knees. The Williams sisters in tennis are the same way. Venus Williams might be the best athlete in the history of women's sports if not for Serena. Simone Biles had basically broken the gymnastics scoring system at this point. Weird Al Yankovic. He's the best parody songwriter, according player, Hawaiian shirt owner, and makes the world's second best tuna melt sandwich. Tony Hawk. Jacob Rees-Mogg tossers. Simone Biles. John Williams. Katie Ledecky for swimming probably. My dog. Mikaela Shiffrin. Faker with league. Yo-Yo Ma, cellist. Michael Jordan. Roy Ayers, jazz vibraphonist. Yes, it's subjective, but that's my take. Sir David Attenborough, legend. Many would argue Tom Brady, if Super Bowl wins are the goal to professional football and you look at the success of a team, after he is not on a team. Flash, StarCraft Brood War. Messi. Shigeru Miyamoto. No one has as many famous video game names under their belt as he, and I get the feeling none in the industry are as well known as him. Mario, Donkey Kong, Legend of Zelda, Star Fox, Pikmin, and Nintendogs. The man created Mario. That in of itself secures his place in my opinion. Efren Bata Reyes. The three tennis men GOATs: Nadal, Federer, Djokovic plus Serena Williams. Valentino Rossi. Carol Kaye, greatest session bassist. Daniel Day-Lewis. Alexander Kerlin. Stephen King. GOAT in the horror genre but has many spectacular books outside the genre. Mark Zuckerberg, GOAT of turning a hot or not site into a politically divisive juggernaut. Michael Schumacher. I don't know who the greatest shit poster of all time is, but I'd wager they're still alive. The last Nuremberg prosecutor was alive until a year or two ago. He was still sharp as a knife and gave talks every year about his experiences with seeing the Holocaust firsthand. Gretzky is the GOAT of GOATs. His stats are unbelievable. Victor Wooten, bass player. Jane Goodall, English primatologist and anthropologist. Phoebe Mitchell. She broke her first world record age 17 in 2008 at the Down Syndrome International Swimming Organization's World Championships, and by the time she retired last year she'd broken 74 more. That's an average of one new world record every 10 weeks for 14 consecutive years. Carol Kaye, maybe one of the greatest studio musicians you've never heard of. Also Bernard Purdie when it comes to drums. Simone Biles, who is still competing and still getting new skills named after her. Mariano Rivera. Lee Faker Sang Hyok. Me, in Being Fucking Stupid. Serena Williams. Mel Brooks, greatest comedic film director ever. Simone Biles. Cael Sanderson. Greatest college wrestler in history. 159-0 record. He's the only wrestler in history to win every single one of his matches, and only the second to win for national championships. He won the Dan Hodge Trophy Heisman 3 times and won the gold medal in the 2004 Olympics. You can argue about greatest athletes in different sports all you want, but when it comes to college wrestling, Sanderson is the indisputable greatest of all time, and it's not even close or debatable. Herbie Hancock. Tony Hawk.